Now, there's a couple of strangers. I never saw them before. I wonder who they are. Then he saw a third man coming along behind him. He caught up with them, and the three of them stopped out there about 100 yards outside the city gate. Lot watched them. He couldn't. But the third man was saying, now, you fellas go down here and check the place out, and I'm going to go over here to Admin and Zeboyam and see how they're getting along. And you fellas go down there and get Lot out. Get Lot out. They're not 10 men in that city. Get Lot out. There might be 6 of them there, but probably not even that. But you get Lot out. He's all right. See you around. And the Lord took off for Admin and Zeboyam. And the two men came up the gate, and Lot got up there and got ready to give them the welcome wagon and the keys to the city. And I said, well, Shalom Aleichem there. How you all doing? They said, okay, how you doing? He said, oh, can't complain. Got 3 meals a day and a place to sleep. Hey, you folks are strangers around these parts, aren't you? Haven't seen your face around this part of the country before. Where you all from, up north? They said, yeah, north. Yeah, north. We just came down across a few constellations and to see. Lot said, what? They said, there's nothing. A few boarders there to see how things are going. We thought we might stay here overnight. And Lot said, well, sack into my place. I got plenty of room. Got a couple of spare beds in the back room. And the sofa opens into a double bed up there in the front. Got plenty of good homemade coffee and homemade bread, unleavened bread. We got some biscuits and blackstrap molasses. Y'all come on in and make yourself at home. And they said, oh, that's all right. We'll just bed down here in the street. It's a warm summer night. Not going to rain any. We got a sleeping bags with us. We'll just bed down here in the street at night. And Lot said, no, don't you all do that now. That wouldn't be right. We don't treat strangers like that around here. Now, we're hospitable folks. Don't do that. You all come on in. Well, we got plenty of room in my house. Just my wife, 2 daughters there. You all come on. So he finally persuaded them, and they went on with him. Got down to his house and got in there, and the wife fixed him some unleavened bread and put it on the table. Lot washed her feet for them. They sat down there at the table and got ready to bow their head and ask the blessing. And about that time, they heard somebody knocking on the door. And it got louder and louder and louder and louder. And Lot said, who's that knocking on the door? And outside, half a dozen or a dozen men of Sodom said, who you got here, man? And Lot went to the door and opened up the latch there and said, well, a couple of strangers came to the city tonight. I met them out there in the street, and I'm going to put them up for the night and take care of them. And the men of Sodom said, bring them on out. And Lot opened the door behind him and closed it behind him and stood out there in the porch with those fellas and said, now, what do you want me to bring them out for? And they said, you know what we want to have you bring them out for. Bring them on out. And Lot said, now, boy, you're carrying this thing too far now. These fellas are strangers. You know the law of the Bedouin tribes. When you take a man into your house, he's just like your family. They're part of my household now. I can't bring them out here. I'll tell you what. Lot looked around and saw that crowd growing now, 20, 30, 40 men. He said, I got a couple of single daughters here, and you can, if you insist, you can use them as a substitute. But I can't bring these men out for a thing like that. That just isn't right. And the leader of the group, a big old burly fellow, said, you so-and-so, you blankety blank Hebrew, coming down here putting on a big show, getting to be a big man. The first time you come down here, you nothing but a sojourner, a stranger. Now you walking around here like you're going to be judge. You're going to be satisfied getting your circuit court judge. You bring them on out. And Lot said, well, I'm sorry, but I can't. And the leader said, okay, boys, bop him. And they made a rush to get old Lot. And before they could grab him, one of those men that had come into Lot that evening stepped out of the door on the porch and just raised one hand and said, flip! And, brother, the lights went out. All those men outside that door were struck with blindness and were just blind as a bat coming in backwards. They started hitting each other and stumbling all over the steps and couldn't find the door. 2 of them grabbed each other and thought the other man was Lot. And everybody began to grab each other and beat the brains out. And while all this confusion was going on, the 2 men reached out the door and grabbed old Lot, pulled him inside the door, slammed through the door, and bolted it. And then one of the angels looked Lot right in the face and said, now listen, well, heavy hangs over thy head. And I'm sent to thee with a hard saying. You got to get out of this town. You got to get out of this town tonight, because we're going to burn this place to a fare thee well. We're going to burn it to a cinder. And Lot said, oh, my God, no, I've got my daughters here. I've got my son-in-laws. And the angel said, well, go get them. And you better hurry. You haven't got 12 hours. You better get moving. It's D-Day. You better do it just as quick as you can or a little bit sooner. And Lot tore around there in confusion for just a couple of minutes, not knowing which way to go, which key to pick up, or which door to leave by. And they said, you better make haste. Better get the lid out. And he got it out. He finally got his wits about him enough to know what he was doing, and went through the back room and got hold of his wife and his 2 unmarried daughters. And he came in there and said, honey, we got to pack. We got to get out. Those 2 fellows in there are angels. They're angels. And they told me God's going to burn this place. It's going to be burned up. And she said, oh, I knew it was going to happen. Children. And the girls began to grab things and throw them into suitcases. And they said, well, Daddy, what about Bernice and what about Susie? And Lot said, I'll get them. You go ahead and pack. Get everything you get your hands on. I'll be back in a minute. And old Lot tore out of that place. Down he went down one of those alleys and around the corner. And by a fire plug and went by a grocery store and a drugstore. Run like a madman, people looking at him. Went down there at the back end of that place where one of those girls lived and got up there and banged on the door. And inside a voice said, what do you want? And Lot said, boys, I got to talk to you a minute. Come here, open the door, come here. And both the son-in-laws were in there having a little kind of a party together with their wives and had kind of a key club going.